Yo, Rob, I know for a fact, okay, I know you wanted to talk about this segment,
Yeah.
and, we talking about, Richard Sherman, making a clarification that, he did not write a particular article that was posted on the internet. He was bringing some clarity to the situation. So in the midst of making the clarification, he decided to speak out on the Black Lives Matter movement. He gave an example of, hey, if these two 35-year-old black men kill each other in the hood, I don't hear anybody saying Black Lives Matter then. It's more like if, and he's not the only one that feels this way. There are people who say,
it's a whole bunch of people that say that.
it's a whole, it's, well, yeah, and this is what I'm saying. There's too many people out here who feel that if the black on black crime that they keep hollering about, that's the only problem that needs to be fixed, and that black people will be okay. Let's not take away the fact that crime, proximity crime, happens in every community. So it's not a black on black crime issue. It's not a white on white crime. That happens everywhere. So I'm tired of people using that as to say, oh, we stop killing each other. No, that ain't. It's systemic issues in the community that keep us down, that we fight through every day. Murders happen in every community. So Richard Sherman tried to toe the line, and you got to take a stance. Like, you either, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. Like that's too. When you say stuff like that, you really put your foot in your mouth, because you're not taking into consideration the sociological aspect of why black people in general, we're talking about black people right now, why they're in the condition that they're in. It's not just because of crime. It's not just because of a corrupt court system. It's not just because of Jim Crow laws and all these various laws that's on the books and miseducation. There are a lot of things that went into play, but everybody gets stuck on crime. You sound foolish. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I know, Rob, you wanted to speak on it. We got 13 minutes. What is your take? Please, speak truthfully. There's no filter. Listen, the world is listening. Hey, Jamal, man, and I'm gonna ask you too, man. But I know Rob got some stuff on his heart. I know he want to get it off.
I mean, when I seen the article, and I read it, I was like, I wanted to make sure I read it clear, because and see what he was saying, and I did, and I understand what he's saying, but I wanted to get his points are invalid. And if you're gonna talk, man, your points got to be valid. You understand? And when you're saying things like that, and you taking that platform in front of the media to say, well, we got to do this and this, and and all, no. The bottom line comes down to this, like you just said: white people kill white people, Spanish people kill Spanish people, all cultures killing within their culture. That's people kill. That's what happens. That's what it is. So to say that, well, two 35-year-old black men kill each other, and and no stories been made about that. Guess what? There was no story made about the white people that killed each other either. You know what I'm saying? So why black people continually to say, and black athletes and people with prominence keep saying that, we got to take care of the crime amongst black. Crime is committed by all races, by all cultures. It's not just black people killing black people. They just highlight that more to make us look more like we savages. You understand?
Exactly.
It has nothing to do. It don't have anything to do with the fact that this is what because you see it on the news. This is what this happened and that happened. No, stop saying that. Stop saying that, because y'all sounding stupid. Y'all supposed to be educated people, and you're saying these things, and you're not having it's not factual based. None of that. This is stuff that you hear from the media. This is stuff that you see on TV that they pumping you. You understand? They're not pumping you.
Exactly.
I've been all over the country, for work. I've been in Louisiana. I've been all over in other places, in other hoods. Let me tell you something. They got hoods where white people live in, where they're meth addicts, and they over there and they murdering, they murdering each other. You understand? It's not just in the urban city, black kids in Chicago just shooting each other. They doing it everywhere. Spanish people in the Mexicans in LA, they got gang wars. They killing each other too. You understand? So it ain't got nothing to do all this. It's about the simple fact. You said it's systematic. You every day you turn on your TV, you seeing cops killing black people, killing black men, beating up black women, killing black women. That's what it's about. Stop taking the issue and making it about black on black crime. Black on black crime ain't no different than white on white crime. It's happening to them too, but they just not telling you about it. You know what I'm saying? And when you get up there and say shit like that, you making it seem like now it's like, oh, see, you got a prominent, athlete saying that and this and that. He went to Stanford and he even looks at you people, at his own people that savages and killing themselves. Because that's what they look at it as. You know what I'm saying? You separating yourself from the others. And you stand on this podium and making this insanity. So that's very troublesome. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody getting up there talking like Ali and all that and saying what it really needs to be said. If you ain't gonna say what it's really about, then don't say nothing. Do the Michael Jordan.
Keep your mouth shut. Yeah, exactly. You gotta keep your mouth shut, and that's why Michael Bennett came out and said what he said, that the argument is flawed because it's not about black people killing black people, because proximity crimes take place all over the world. It's really about, we talking about the people who are supposed to be protecting and serving killing women, killing children, killing men, some about black people being exterminated. So when you get up there and you make a stand and you start talking about black on black crime and you don't put in the other issues that affect the community besides crime, then you just a slave, man. This is straight up.
Talk about the two. Why you ain't talking
about Toby?
Why you ain't talking about the lack of school systems, the terrible school systems in our neighborhood? And talk about that. Talk about the lack of education that we receive. Things like that.
Nobody is born a criminal. Nobody is born a criminal. What happens over time, people get desperate. People are hungry. People don't have money. They can't eat. They can't feed their families. That's when crime takes place, out of desperation and desolation. Desperation and desolation. That's what causes crime. Now, granted, killing is abnormal. Like, everybody's not out here killing, but at the same time, murders are taking place. So that's not our only issue. That's not the only issue in the white community. There are more people on SNAP benefits from the white community than the black community. People don't understand that, but they want to say that black people are lazy. That's what you put in the media. There are more white people on public assistance than black people. But people are still talking to me about black on black crime. Like, you're an athlete. Don't get up there, take your podium, and I'm glad that Michael Bennett said something, because, that's his teammate. Like, just because you went to Stanford and you went through the hood, you persevered. Like, we respect that, man. But you are educated and you're supposed to know better. Maybe if your ass would have took a different major, then you would have known better than to open up your mouth and say something. Like, you know what? I could go to Yale too and take liberal arts. I'm not the same as a person that went to Yale and took law. Okay? So there's a difference in the degrees. And when he say something like that, he made himself look real silly, because you discrediting a movement that's talking about the injustices that are taking place to black people. I'm not saying that nobody else isn't dying. I'm not saying that white people don't get killed by cops. Y'all not being targeted. That's the difference. Exactly. You don't have crack dropped in your hood that have a residual effect of 30 years. You don't have miseducation in your schools where you got 20-year-old textbooks. You ain't going through that. And this is no excuse. I'm not saying it's an excuse to kill people. It's not. But you got to look at all of the factors that take place that make people do desperate things. That's right. And for Richard Sherman to get up there, shame on you, man, because you are educated, and that's why Michael Bennett checked him on his team, on his team. And I always end up getting into. I stopped doing it recently. If you are one of those people, we stop killing each other, then shut up. Nobody's trying to hear that no more. I'm not debating with you no more. You're ignorant.
Right.
You're ignorant, and we can.
Listen. No more.
I could disagree with people all the time. I don't care. But, see the big picture. Like, you got to see the big picture.
Oh,
you can't say, okay, so let's we take away crime. Everything is over?
Backyard. We got to clean
Everything
up
is
our
over?
backyard.
Right, and we do that. Everything is over. All our problems go away. Unemployment goes away. All right? But what? Does miseducation go away? Does systemic racism go away? I told you, man. I was a white man online. You know, I applied for jobs as a white man. I got mad hits in my email. You think that's an accident? Like, there are white Cordells out there. I found that out, too, when I did a couple of internet searches. Like, wow, okay. They got white Corys. I didn't know that until I really looked. I'm like, yeah, I got a white name. I got a lot of internet hits on my resume on Monster.com. I don't want that job. But it's just all about research at this point. But you start seeing stuff for what it is. So you can't take one issue and try to latch onto that. And I know he got paid. I keep trying to tell people, please make the connection when you say a slave, a $40 million slave. You're working for somebody that got a big check. You're getting money. Yo, you're going to keep your mouth shut. You're not going to be out there making them type of statements because you are Toby.
Say it, Toby.
You know what I'm saying? You got your check.
That's what it is, Cole. I agree with everything what y'all saying, and it goes back to the issue that I brought up the past few weeks on the show. You know what I'm saying? It's like we as a people, I hear, like, I got a couple homeboys, and I hear people all the time around here in my hometown. They sit there talking about, well, okay, like a black person getting in trouble, right? And they'll sit there and say, well, see, that's why they look at us a certain way. I'm like, what you mean look at us a certain way? It ain't no different than what a white man going to the store, robbing the store. It ain't no difference. But because they sit up there and show this on TV or show this in movies or wherever it is you get this from, you automatically get this idea that because we do something wrong, that all of a sudden they're going to look at us a different way. No. It's the same thing across the board. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's the same thing.
But because you've been brainwashed, whether you want to sit here in a minute or not, and it goes back to our schools too. Like I said, the issues I brought up the past couple weeks on the show about our schools, certain schools here in my hometown and abroad across the country. Actually, you know what I'm saying? Okay, you go bring out these grades of these schools, right? And the black schools are below the white schools. But why is that? Why is that? It's because you got black teachers that'll sit there and say, well, I'm not gonna go over there and teach because they ain't paying me enough. Oh, so you got to get a bigger check to go teach your own people. But you'll sit up there and talk junk about these kids when they get in trouble. But you ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing to help them out. You see what I'm saying?
Bam.
Wow. Hey, you know what? Hey, this is why. You know, for people who out there who haven't really listened to the body of work of this show, as we got 2 minutes left, and I know Shariah wish she was on this one because she be having a lot to say, man. Like, she's a deep sister. I got to give it to her. And we went in, we held it down, and we took it to another level, another notch, because basically we ain't have her to kind of rein us back in, because Shariah is like the balance. Because Rob go off on the deep end, I'll go off on the deep end, and we talking about two different things, but to the same end. So we got callers like you ask the questions that make us answer. Like, we provide an answer. Somebody out there is listening to these shows, and they get some answers. They're like, who is these guys? Who are them? Right. They get the truth out. That's what we want to do. And that's why we talk about these subjects and these topics, and we pay homage, man, to people who actually did something. But we also call people out on the rug. Like, you can't just come out your face and say things like that and expect to, let it walk. And just because you are a football player doesn't mean nothing. We got 1 minute left. But go ahead, Jamal.
But think about it, Cole.
Give it 15 seconds.
Richard Sherman has blown up now. Richard Sherman has blown up now. So what happens when we get to that part of blowing up in entertainment and athleticism? What happens?
We change our whole tone.
We changed the tone, because remember how he was when he first started.
Yeah,
remember that. Go back to when he first. Yeah, go back to when he first started. And he spoke the truth. But then you come back now, and when I heard that, I was gonna share it with y'all on Facebook. but I never did get around to it. But I'm like, because I was going to ask y'all what y'all thought about that. But
right. We going. You know what? It's 30 seconds left. We are gonna finish this conversation in the next episode. Definitely. Because we got a lot to talk about. Jamal,
we got a lot.
Appreciate it, brother. We got a lot to talk about, and I'm glad Shirai will be back here. And you know, we taking us out. This is True Sports Talk. We gonna be back next week, episode 10. Stay with us. Peace.